Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Ittle Dew 2 Plus. So, we're gonna do this extra final puzzle dungeon. Might as well. We really have hit the point of just me personally playing a game because I'm obsessive. Not even really because I'm having fun or anything like that. I mean, I can't even make that argument. I did hopefully look up all the solutions that I had missed. And so a couple of things we can run back and get later. There is certainly a level there also of carefulness that I'll have to put into actually remembering all of that stuff. Alright, so we have a shortcut that takes us nowhere. I bet none of these shortcuts take us anywhere we can access to start with. It would have kind of sucked, honestly, if we had not been able, and it still might very well suck if we're not able to get full health and defeat the final dungeon after we got all those secret stashes. Which, by the way, in watching one of the many playthroughs I had to end up watching, yeah, this is gonna be trouble. Is there a health refill? Yes. So I did like realize that there was like a certain level of stuff. Alright, so we kind of see what we're gonna do here. We're gonna run from that point, and then we're gonna roll. Or we could just do that, I guess. And it seems like the game is gonna be fairly nice. There was a trick, and the trick, we'll just go ahead and show it, is this. That lets a block potentially end up where you would like it to be. So you can get it to kind of do double jumps, which this puzzle definitely has a chance in which it will play in that same factor, that we will have to try to get this over here. So same trick. Seems like that's gonna be a little tough. Yeah, actually, there's kind of probably just needed to get it to jump that way. We can come down here and see what this is. With my larger attack area, I could see this becoming a little bit difficult to arrange, but it kind of seems not that difficult. Just maybe have to stand a little bit further behind. And not hit too many things. Oh shoot. You kind of wish what would happen here is the things would lock into place more, because that definitely is more of a challenge than it should be. And this isn't... there's always like two types of puzzles that exist in the world. The kind that require you to do everything, and I mean absolutely everything, and use every single piece, effectively like a jigsaw puzzle. And then there are the more cryptic ones where some pieces might be unnecessary. I think since we are such at a high point, there's a very good argument to be made that this should be more of a puzzle where there are no extra pieces. Now in this puzzle, directly to the right here, there is one extra piece, but I don't think I would have ever been able to hit that extra piece anyways, so did it really have any connection to anything? Alright, so one, if I can get the shots to go straight, we want this to be a couple stops that way, couple shots this way, and let's see. If I was to put this over here, I couldn't push it on that anyways. So this is a full jump that needs to happen. So this is basically need to do this and then that to get it over there, which is fine. And then I need to potentially get myself over in that area while also having a crystal. And I don't know how that would work, because I don't think you can just get a corner here and roll. So once I get over there, what's the trick at that point? Because I can't make it jump 2 spaces, I can only make it jump over 1 space. So it's not like the square, the stone brick would somehow be able to be pushed over this way. And this wouldn't let us do this. I am kind of wondering, is this a puzzle that's pointless? Wait a minute. We see this purple crystal, but we haven't seen any purple crystals as an indicator of anything. So I just need to think of something stupid, I guess, at the moment. That's all I really should think of is... Let's see, we just do that. And then fire back that way. Let it bounce us over here. Okay. So roll and fall to our death. Yeah. I'm gonna chalk this up to, I don't know what this crystal does, so I don't know if there's any value in opening this door. And honestly, it may not even be a case that I need to open the door. Come to think of it. Oh wait, I do see a solution here. Interestingly enough, we need some way to get it over to the right. Is there a surefire solution for that? Because what I think I need to do is not that, but just kind of diagonally push it. Yeah. So diagonally push this like that direction, I think, is the idea. And then do that to get it over to that point. Seems like the tricks of this game are kind of few and far between. They are kind of cool when you do them, but then you still just run into this problem. And as you probably can tell, I've slept since the last time I played, so I'm a lot calmer now than I feel like I was before, which calmer is probably the wrong word. I'm a lot less just unimpressed with the game and willing to give it a little bit more of a chance. I was arguably too calm with the game at way too many points and very blasé about it, just uninterested. But we are still definitely running into issues of falling off the edges. That's your experience that they wanted you to have for some insane reason. Alright. Fire there. Fire there. Why did that not work? Yeah, odd things just don't work. So we broke a crystal. I guess we're supposed to break crystals. Seems like there might be a secret thing here, but very possibly not. We've got new enemies, which are weird to say the least. Introduce new enemies that are literally only in one dungeon, when the rest of the game could have easily benefited from having more variety. Right, so that's one section done. We have just a massive amount of stuff here, and I bet the truth of the matter is there's really nothing to any of this at all. Yeah, I bet there is kind of just nothing. Because you can just break things. So, yeah. All kinds of different puzzles here you could solve, but I don't know why you would. I mean, let's just look at the map and see if there's anything that would even begin to justify spending that effort. like a 4-step block, a multi-step block, a pushable block here that wouldn't do anything. Five crystals, energy, and the energy breaker probably could have been used if there was a bunch of these. I don't know if there really was ever a bunch of them, though. Actually, come to look at it, I don't think there's a way to step on number 4 here. So, unless you could get around this section and hit number 1, which actually it doesn't look like there's a way to get to number 1 either. Yeah, there's literally just a bunch of garbage in this area for to make it seem like there's a game solution there, and when there really isn't. Okay. How could we get this to jump? And could we get it to jump diagonally to land on this? Or do we just do it? Okay. I think this is the diagonal spot, so I'm going to put a cube there for a moment. And then I'm going to try to map out in my mind where the diagonal spot would be here and here and here, I think. Okay. Now, how do we get a power shot off of that? We don't. We've got to get a power shot off of the cube being here and cut. And want to be fairly careful not to die, and fairly careful not to. Oh, my mouse cursor's on the screen. Apologies for that. So did I miss there? It's kind of hard to see what's going on when the screen shifts. Let's just try this. This probably is enough time to do this. But boy, does the controls not work. Yeah, I wonder about the Switch version. I definitely wonder about the Switch version of this. Whether those controls work better. Well, it jumped and it didn't land, so I can only assume that it fell to its demise. And there's a crystal in there, and I think we're supposed to be breaking the crystal, so I assume that there is a solution to this. Let's see if we can otherwise figure this out. I could push it diagonally down this way. I can't push it diagonally this direction at that point, because if I could do that, however, I would have success. But on the upper path, sure, I could push it diagonally up to this point, but then I can't push it diagonally this way. And I also can't push this diagonally this direction. It's 3 switches. So it does again leave me with the idea that there is just this level of you've got to get the angle perfect. Yep, that worked. If there was a different solution to that puzzle, I have no idea what it is. But I'm also perfectly happy to be done with these puzzles. Let's go ahead and walk in this room. And we have another one of these. Interesting. I don't know what would break those sections, those crystals. Let's go ahead and push a key up here and see what this is. I forgot these cards even existed. I forgot that's what we were doing. I think we probably already know the solution to this. Just gotta get a diagonal angle. Well, we can just do it this way. Yeah, we just gotta get one diagonal angle past the edge, I assume. Don't really see a reason why that wouldn't be the solution. There might be another way where we could try and shoot a ball this way and then have the thing knocked up. But let's look at that as a possible solution. How would one go about that? You could come over here, and then put yourself in a dangerous position. Yeah. See, dynamite doesn't move these things. Yeah. So I think that's might be the problem up here too, is that these little fountains act as enough of an object to not allow it to slide diagonally. I don't see a way I could bounce an object here. Actually, I do see a way I could bounce an object here. Okay. So we stand here, and then we do that. Push that one. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. So this is going to be a fairly long shot. I'm going to have to do this and then push it like that. You can definitely feel that if you know what you're supposed to do, it's easier. Jenny Flower. I never did find a way to defeat her, but I know the blue spirit she was talking about for the undefeatable Jenny Flower in that one room. So I know what she's talking about. I don't know specifically how to defeat her though. Let's see. Trying to make a cube, and apparently you can't make a cube. Yeah, nothing is affecting these cubes, oddly. These crystals. Let's go up here. This brings us into a room. Skullnip. We fought these guys maybe twice in the whole game. Perhaps throwing parts of the skeleton at people is what made him expire in the first place. This is like a stupidly easy puzzle. Wait, no. Not so stupidly easy after all. Because the problem with it is that switch. If I hit it, it will slide off the edge. Yeah, that seemed oddly designed. Is this yet another impossible puzzle? That is a problem with introducing that as a possibility. Certainly. This still isn't that hard though. Just have to do that. But you do have to remember that that move exists. And I guess the question to ask ourselves is, did that break a crystal? Yes, it did, but I've broken 2 other crystals already, so either I'm working around a pattern that is working very nicely for me on accident, or crystals are breaking other crystals throughout the whole map, potentially making the whole thing easier. And yeah, the thing that will kill me is not the cannons so much or the spikes, it will just be the holes in the ground. Okay. So, can I push this one anywhere else? I don't think so. So, then the next bit of question would be, we almost certainly don't need this one. So we can put that in that place. I don't know if there's enough room to negotiate around this. I don't think it would have mattered too much either. Unless the crystal also continues, unless ice continues to conduct electricity, which maybe it does. Because this is what you'd want. Of course, I don't think I did this right. I can safely push that back up, but I can't do anything else, so I'll have to try again. We should test the ice question first. No, it does not conduct electricity. Which then means this square, I think, has to go. I don't know how that happens. Let's move this down. Okay. Kind of have to push it this way. Do anything. I can push that up that direction if I want to. These, I don't think, move diagonally at all. If they do, it still probably wouldn't help too much. Let's see. Now what do we do? If I push one up, I definitely don't accomplish my goals. Well, that does move diagonally, which might help something at some point. But I don't think there's a way to get this to bounce back or go in any kind of like diagonal direction. So yeah, we are reminded we can go diagonal. That helps us a small amount. A really, really small amount. Let's push that down that direction. I kind of wonder if I saw something there where the electricity stayed in the cube as I pushed it. And it would really suck if it turns out that electrifying these barriers also opened the gates. I would question if that was the actual case. Can we go diagonally this way? No. So if I push that down like that, that probably was a mistake. Is there possibly another path here? Just like any other path at all? Yeah, once we start hitting these puzzles that matter, boy does the game seem to love to make it more difficult. Could probably leave that one the way it is. No, that won't help anything. Yeah. Even if this was over here instead of where it is, you still are in this odd position. It just doesn't work. So if this is unsolvable, then how do you get this? Because there should be a way you should be able to get that. Or even a better question might be to ask is just what do we do specifically with this blocks? Because we need to do something with this box, and I don't know what we can do or how we can deal with it. This is one of those puzzles where you really would have to think every step through or get fairly lucky. And I'm not particularly a huge fan of those kinds of puzzles. Alright. Say I push this down and this here. Do I have a pattern where I could get back up here and push something downward? No. I've done everything except for this one cube. So how do we do that? You don't have any way of electrifying yourself. This would be the real world solution to this. Certainly is just have Ittle electrocute herself. And it didn't seem like you probably could get the timing right, regardless of what you tried. It just doesn't seem like you could get the timing right to push a cube while it's electrified. You only have like a second there. It would be nice if you could use the freeze move to slow down the action of the electricity. I don't know how that fixes anything, though. Yeah. It's odd that there would be a collectible here that you couldn't actually collect. Seems like no duh that would not be the case. But I guess there might be an idea. If I had, say, nothing in the middle there, and then I did something like that, then you've got kind of a diagonal that then that diagonal could be attempted to be brought back downward from that point. But this does just set you so high up that I don't think that would work. Meanwhile, if I had something like one here, one here, one here, one here, that would be 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, 7, 8. That's too many. Yeah. So I think there's just a concept here that I'm failing to recognize as far as how this one could be more useful and more diagonal. Is there any way I could push it so that it would move in a diagonal way? I mean, we could do an experiment here. There's basically nothing blocking this square from moving diagonally. Okay. So that moves something diagonally that could have been moved diagonally anyways. But I would have to be on the other side of it for it to matter. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Oops. I don't know if I can save this. We can experiment again though. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't really seem like the electricity stays. I don't think it really would pass through. Well, I'm all out of ideas, so let's just abandon that. We're already in that room, I believe. Which is easier to transport ourselves. Probably is just easier to run through this room, get up to this point. Sure, grab some hearts while we're at it. Hit that, and then roll. Let's just go this general direction. Seems like you've got plenty of time to make it if you don't die. I've got to decide to use the force and not use the fire attack, because that's not going to work well for me. Right, we've got to get the angle just right, and then roll, and then just go ahead and reset our health. Seems like this is straight up just a diagonal challenge. Because if I was to do this, and that, it will fall off the edge, right? So I think all we have to do is probably hit this, then spend the rest of our time lining up our shot and falling to your death isn't even really a challenge here. There was a lot of puzzles like this that would have rather benefited from just having infinite refills on the health, but also there's a lot of challenges like this where you literally were just once again enticed to is this explosion not hitting the guy? No, it's not. So 1, 2, 3. Well, I can't hit him with anything else. I'm starting to really question just how much of this is some grade A BS. Fall off to the edge, and yeah. Since this is the second game in the series, I kind of also have to wonder, like, if there was, I guess what we could do is something kind of like that. Maybe. Is there a shot to make that way? Not really. There'd be more of a shot that way. And you'd have to hit it on the right face. Yeah, co-op wouldn't have been a problem in this game. I don't even know if this is the right place for it to be. The angle is going to be awkward, to say the least. If I hit this at all, I need to immediately run and hit it, because I won't be able to see if I hit it. Yeah, yet another not used enough mechanic, so no surprise that it's just kind of easily forgotten and not thought of. Will this guy get blown up? Oh, there is just nothing here. This guy's gonna get electrocuted. And then... we just need to do the double trick. So we'll have to reset it once, but I think after that, just push this down and don't fall to our death. 1, 2, run back this way. Actually, we're gonna have to just stay where we are. 1, 2, run back. Probably could have made it 3. 1, 2, don't go any further. Just let cycle once. Alright, we also need to put a... not that. That was a mistake. You know, this will be easier to do this. Put the ice block first, and then push the cube second. We need an ice block here. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, and back. Go ahead and hit these. So we gotta line up just to left. Do that. Hit it once. We've got it open. Still kind of a high discrepancy between the puzzles to get a card versus puzzles to get a key, which does leave you in this position where you might very easily make it to the end of a level and not have actually finished all of the levels, or even gotten most of the cards or any of the cards. You'll get 3 for just defeating the level, which is nice. Now we have a nice little shortcut. I like the little chain tree. That's a bit of interesting art. And here we have what looks like the exact same room used twice. Can we pull this off? Well, what would cause these to move around in any way that would be helpful? See, if I put a block here, then sure, I could step up to that point and I could get all the way up to this point. But then I would have to have some magical way of removing all of these blocks, which, let's see, I could maybe pull off. Alright, this sounds crazy, but I think this can be done. It's going to be the power of our fire sword. We're going to come over here, come up to this point, hit that with our fire sword, and then I'm just going to hit that to remove that one. Then I'm going to hit that to remove that one, and solve that. What did we get just now? Maybe we got Slayer Jenny, a deadly mirage hider who rides the snowstorms. The bones of her victims can be heard rattling in the wind. Oh, yeah. Or we got Jenny Mole. I think we got Slayer Jenny. And again, undeniable that this is just fairly obsessive, what we're doing here. Just extra gameplay because we have it. Yeah, whenever I buy a game on Steam, or in the rare cases that I'm even gifted a game from a fan on Steam, there is a level of desire to have the full game. There's no real idea I've ever wanted where I've wanted just a small part of a game. I don't know how this would work. Is this really solvable? Is there some property to bombs that I am not aware of? Bombs don't seem like they get electrocuted. They can get exploded, but they don't seem to do anything around that idea. It would be crazy if the bombs just would blow up barriers. It would be crazy also if there was some kind of system in which you could electrocute yourself. Yeah, there's nothing here. There's no real way to, like, you're not going to be able to bounce yourself back in that short run. Yeah, this is just an unsolvable puzzle. It kind of has to be. Let's move on to the ones we think we can solve. Or maybe at least we'll get an idea. Okay, if I push this upward, we have two things we need to stand on. How would we get the one thing on that platform? I mean, you can hit it that way. But that's kind of all you can do. So what I think we've got to do is we've got to get this gone. Which means we have to figure out a way to shoot a this. So I want to stand here fairly careful. No, actually I'm in the wrong place. They might as well just have the items in the... Let's see. Might as well have the heart dispenser right under where you are. Okay, that clears that part out. Now is the next part of this. Oh, and this seems fairly impossible, doesn't it? Because I have to now get this to bounce on a cube here, and then also bounce on a cube here. Which isn't gonna happen. Or I just get rid of this completely. What happens when this happens? Yeah, it just pushes that. What happens when this happens? It just bounces it a couple of times. It's just not enough. There's no way you're going to be able to do that. I could probably get a weird angle on it, but I don't know what a weird angle on that side would do anything. So I probably needed it to go Is there any benefit of just doing that instead? Not really. Is there any way to bounce myself over? Is there a diagonal shot that could be made? That would shoot me in a weird diagonal direction. If this puzzle was to suggest that I could be shooting myself in weird diagonal directions this whole time, that's gonna be weird. If I got the block up here and then I was over there, that could be interesting. So let's see. I think something like that. This feels like they put this here specifically to block that from happening now. And there definitely would be kind of a considerably large amount of red herrings in this puzzle if this is the solution. I have to basically clear two very sharp edges and not fall off. Yeah. Seems like that would be in the way. I mean, we can adjust for that though, I guess. By just going one closer. Well, that didn't work. My idea would be to put it here. And then knock it back this way. And then I'd be able to knock it back that way. And then it would be able to line up. But that, if I did do that, let's just think about that. How does that in any way help us get over to this section? Kinda doesn't. And this never pushes. Right. Well, you can do that. That's probably a solution, come to think of it. Let's go ahead and assume that that didn't work. I'm glad you don't blow yourself up. Okay. So then I can bounce myself. All I have to do is hit that, and then well, we probably need to practice that if we're gonna pull it off. And we are gonna have to think about the positions that we fire things at, because that's not gonna work the way I was gonna try and do it. Okay. So I probably want to fire this here, and then that there, and then that there. Got it. And then inevitably I'll fall to my death before exiting the room. Yep. It's just, once again, think if there's like anything at all that would make any sense. Does the bomb do anything with the crystal? Yeah, it breaks it. Which doesn't help in any way. Unless I wanted a very powerful knock me over an edge to get over to this point to find out that there's some kind of secret passage, which is about the only thing I could even think might be the answer to this, is that there's some crazy secret passage, if this is supposed to be doable at all. And honestly, it's not worth our time. It just isn't. I've got plenty of skeleton keys, and if there was like an achievement for getting all the skeleton keys in the game, I've long since missed that. So let's just use the skeleton key. Save ourselves the frustration. And we've got another one of these. This way seems like that's probably the safest path. But then it kind of also locks out something. See, it feels to me like each of these is going to probably have to work in a certain way to just ensure you have a path always. Okay. See, that was super easy. Chilly Roger, a former pirate, seeks his eternal rest, but the floor is too cold to get any shut-eye. Yeah, that was very easy, so I don't know why the other room was so hard. And we've broken all the crystals. So now that that area is reachable, let's take our time to see what the easiest path would be to get to where we want to go. Yeah, it's probably this way. But you can't take that ledge, you have to roll through it. Actually, yeah, this wasn't the best way, come to think of it. Man, you still, I guess, have that possibility where you could die. So the other one of these was super easy. Why is this one so hard? What's the trick here? What could I do to get this off a wall? There's like absolutely nothing that I recall as far as any puzzle ever that let you get a cube off a wall once it was on the wall. That was just the end of it. And if I pushed one downward instead of diagonal, that wouldn't do anything for us. It might be that this is just undoable. That might very well be the case. Because we have 1, 2. And unless this wall decided to all of a sudden prove that it was a conductor and that gold walls were conductors, you're just short one. And we know that there is an object that will just solve puzzles, and we know that there are unsolvable puzzles elsewhere in the game. Like, hitting this even with a force to make it jump would not have it hit a wall and bounce backwards, because if that was the case, that would have worked for so many other solutions. Also, and if I zigzagged one here and another one here, And then another one here. That would be it. Also. I guess what I would like to do is just run a little experiment. But if I push either one of these up, it won't work either. We'll have to reset this, and we're going long. We're pretty much going to go long always at this rate. For the... I don't even know if there really is enough content here for yet another episode. So we should probably just give up on this fairly quickly. Is there a way for this to be in place? Yeah, there's no solution to this. This is just ridiculous. Like, you must have to use the game cheating section that exists to get that, which means you must just have to play the game in such a weird linear way, because you have to come back to certain areas to get certain things. Right. So we know there's going to be a boss fight to the right, which is probably the brain-eating slug. Well, that's animated differently. Ugh, what is that? Looks like a cocoon of people. Whatever is inside must be what kidnapped everyone from their dreams. Well, this clearly is a boss room. Whatever that thing is, it's going down. Oh yeah, and this is fairly easy. Unless it's going to do several phases. This is a boss that is also doing different attacks and more attacks than we've seen from a lot of the other game in the main story. Okay, looks like we've got to knock it back with its own things as a dream butterfly. And probably need to be a little bit more careful with when it decides to attack. Probably need to use the roll button, since it's designed for that. Weird that this is the only phased boss that's really recognizable. There may have been some other bosses that had phases, but the phases were so simplistic. You have to be fairly careful not to run forward and fall into the spike, I think. This feels a lot like a Binding of Isaac style of boss with multiple phases and multiple attacks and really having to know what you're doing. I don't see what. How am I supposed to? Let's just avoid taking damage, and we'll blow them up that way with the dynamite. So I guess if you didn't remember the dynamite attack here, I don't know what you really would have been able to do to defeat this guy. And I had 2 health there, so it does go to show that there definitely could have been a challenge. I could have died. So we get Hexrot, the cabal of traitorous magicians who found eternal life. We get Ittle Dew, which is number 4. Though strong and clever, this reckless adventure prefers brute force over smarts. And Ginny Berry Vacation, laid back Ginny Berry who travels to the island with her trusty ice cream cone. See, now Ginny Cat's gonna talk to you. Mind you there, nice job on defeating that terrible dream monster. Yeah, which one of them? You know, the one that yanks people from their dreams? That was a larva of a napping fly gathering food for its pupal stage. Good thing you found the pupa so quickly, or things could have gotten really nasty around here. Maha. Interesting, I hit the button once and it jumped. Let's call the girl's intuition. Just kidding. I totally spy on everyone who comes here. You're pretty good at puzzles, you know. Ittle, I'm surprised too. Here I thought this adventure had softened you up, but you still beat all of those puzzles by yourself. Please, that was nothing compared to the wrestling that fish bun that had eaten its vegetables. Oh yeah, we don't talk about that anymore. Now off you go. Remember how hard you worked for those collectible cards and take a look at them from time to time. Especially the one with me on it. So, I don't even think I got an outfit for that. And, yeah, clearly we didn't clear it. So if we look at the cards, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Do we have 25? No, we're missing 25. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. So the 2, and yes I mean 2, that are missing is there is a secret 41 card, I believe, in this area that we would have to, I'd have to look up the solution to get it. So unless there was an achievement around it, it involves finding symbols on the wall and pushing the symbols in a very specific order that's told to you by the secret passage that's down this way, and I won't bother to get back down to that. And then the other puzzle that I just couldn't figure out. Alright, so let's... Oddly, there's like no health refill anywhere. But I don't think we actually need to worry about that. Let's come over here. So, there was the Ginny that said you have to be one with the blue spirit. And then there was a character that said weave back and forth with the smiling rocks. These are the smiling rocks. So you were supposed to weave on the outside of this. The hint that told us to do this, however, is way on the other side of Lonely Path. So after you do that, there should be a ghost spirit over here. And in here, this whole system, by the way, is designed in kind of a weird way that you do get different items after you've gotten the secret stashes. So there definitely is a scenario where you I think these might disappear. Yeah. So you have to do it fairly quickly. May need to reset this just so it's out of the way. We need it to stay out of the way. Okay. So I have seen other people that did certain levels and they got different things compared to what I got, and that does certainly explain why we're gonna have to roll on this. Why we got a cave scroll that went nowhere. You can't extend it, can you? So this probably is more of a situation where something like this. Let's put that over here. That way your very first step is the one that you're out. Right, hit and go and go and go. Hit the 5, hit the 6, don't hit the 9, hit that. There we go. So this just gives us yet another outfit. There's a couple outfits we've clearly missed. So we could probably go down to the Sweetwater Coast and change into that outfit and see if that does anything for us. Let's see, what outfit are we missing? We're just missing one. This is, I guess, the right outfit because I'm fairly certain we had all the others. Yeah. And then let's run to Slippery Slope. And we'll roll this way or run this way. It depends on what I feel like doing. And we'll see if that can open up the secret in this room, which may be an outfit or it may just be nothing. See, it still didn't work, so there's probably some other blue spirit thing that I've just missed somewhere. And I don't know if I really want to mess with that too much. It is fairly ridiculous that we are still having to do things. But whatever. Like, I could have ended the game hours ago if I wanted to. I'm the sucker that keeps playing. The solution to this is you have to roll into a tree, which is just something I constantly keep forgetting is a thing that can happen. And then you just do this. I saw someone solve this, but I think I would have probably figured this out fairly easily too. With a spinning laser that is used only in that one place. Meow, welcome to our slumber party. Feel free to sniff around. Meow, those two sellers are giving out hints to adventurers about worlds behind the sparkling white gates. Cats should do what they feel like. Purr, here's your hint. There are 3 protective amulets, 2 blue headbands, 3 tomes, and 2 trackers. This being hidden at the end of the game is a terrible hint. Now, there's a portal world with a force wand, 1 with the dynamite, 1 with an ice ring, and 2 with 1 chain each. Mumble, the fragile frog meets the gossipy girl by the downhill duck. I don't even know what that means. And here you've got a whole bunch of pictures of people on the wall. But I don't think there's even anything else in here. So, no reward? Odd, you would think? Very odd to have an X on the map that just takes you to a world like this and there's nothing in it. I didn't see anybody else collect it when I was looking at it also. Alright, so somewhere we know somewhere around here that there probably is yet another ghost thing, and somewhere I couldn't even tell you there's almost certainly another heart cave. It is crazy that you could just miss it. But yeah, there's obviously some blue ghost thing, but I could not tell you where it is. See, over here we don't have any lit up smiling faces or anything. So unless there's supposed to be a blue ghost that popped out of that area, I would almost certainly have to just wander around looking for it. And even if I was to walk around this, it doesn't make a blue ghost appear, so I have no idea where the next blue spirit would be. So even if I had done that right, it's still not gonna be helpful. Alright, last thing we can do, or that I care to do, is let's go to the forbidden area. Hop in here. I don't remember the layout of this forbidden area, so it's not terrible, but it's not great either. We run through all of this, and we look at some of these puzzles, and we again recognize that some of these puzzles can't be solved. And we'll just run. Have to be fairly careful to not die. Okay. So the trick here to this one. Oops. I probably won't take any damage in this room anyways. Is you knock that over, you put a block here, and then you do that. And that gets it over. And then you push this down, and that energizes that. And it just goes to show how fried my brain was at the at the time when I was trying to do this. I just put so many hours into trying to play this game. So now we're in new content, and there really isn't going to be that much more. Pastel's Journal 5. When the robot had tired of the challenge, it began designing its own dungeons, including this one, building them underground so as to hide them from me. Pastel's Journal 6. Frustrated, I dismantled the robot, scattered it into pieces, and hid its core in the depths of this place. I threw the keys into the rest of the ugly mazes and sealed the entrances. Interesting. So I assume those were the forbidden keys and not just the regular keys. And let's see. Now this door is open, so we could run straight upward. Pastel's Journal 7. I see why this dungeon was named the Tomb of Trials. Before I leave, I shall rename it to warn intruders of what is now found within. Was the Tower of Simulacra, right? Wasn't that the Tomb of Simulacra? The robot's most devious puzzles lie just ahead, and beyond them, who knows? Some things are better left alone. I must leave as soon as possible. So we had every key, except for there is one in the far right corner that I missed that may not be solvable or may be solvable. I didn't look up whether that was there was a solution to that one or not, and I don't think it's worth the time to try it. Note to self: Sunken Labyrinth, an interesting experiment in exploring in unusual directions, but too easy with too many paths to previous rooms. 2 out of 5. Note to self: Machine Fortress, boring design, not very challenging. Most rooms feel empty. Good usage of bees, however, 1 out of 5. Here we have a map. Note to self: dark hypo style. Fun to use of artificial life forms, but no puzzles to explain the ice ring's functions before the ice block room. 2 out of 5. These feel like these might very well be criticisms of the actual levels, but I don't think the creators of this game deserve the credibility to criticize their own game like that, considering how they made this game the way it is, and it's not as good as I would like it to be. Note to self: Tomb of Trials, fairly challenging, okay structure, delightfully frustrating puzzles in the final stretch, dull central rooms. 3 out of 5. This was the Tomb of Trials. We'll just use a skeleton key to open this. And let's see. Is there a way? I think so. Yeah. We are going to simply push this diagonally that way, and then push that there. And that opened one door. And kind of messed up at that point. Well, no. Guess that'll solve that problem. There. Stand over here. I need to just get it to be further. Come on. Have to move a little bit faster. But you get that angle. There we go. 2 rooms open. One of which brings me down just to a shortcut that way. One of which brings me to this. Which... So how do you get a block off the wall? Well, this might be where the game ends. We were potentially going to make it all the way to the end, but I don't know a way to get a block off a wall. I can't slide that. Oh, goodness. Well, I now know how to solve that other puzzle in the other room. Well, I guess it's better to know than to not know. I don't know if I care enough to go back and do that, but we'll see. Because if I get one card, then why not go get the 40 card, the 41st card? Why not just do it all? Well, this area resets with health. I guess we're fine. As long as you come back in the room and you've got that health. But is that enough room to really do 2 hits? I don't think it is. I think I have to do something even crazier, don't I? I have to do this here, and then this, and then this, and then out, and then in. Okay. So this, out, in, over, open. Next part of this, though. How do we get these 2 switches to have something on them? See, I don't even know how I could, like, make something bounce in the right direction. So, if I was supposed to get it up here somehow, I don't know how that helps. I don't know how I get to... I guess I probably have to do something insane. I don't know how this would work, though. Either. Because that just bounces, so this is just totally out of the... in the wrong place. This just would bounce me around. Interesting, you can walk through that angle. Is there anything that this mirror could do to act as another solution? Doesn't feel like it. So, like, sure. You make a square here, push it that way, it won't move. Can't push it that way. These just slide. Yeah, we're running into this problem where any potential puzzle that I didn't look up the solution to does just open the door to the next puzzle being extremely convoluted. Like, I don't see a way we get this piece. Like, I can't push a diagonal. So, unless there's something to an angle that I'm not seeing, yeah. But we've kind of gotten everything. And the thing that would let you jump and skip puzzles at the point is at the end of this puzzle. Is at the end of this tomb. So, let's see. How did I do that before? I must have really got an angle just perfect. Because that will work. But I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna work. I basically would have to do this and then do that. Yeah, I don't even really know the angle that even would begin to have a chance to make this work. I did bounce myself diagonally that way, but I don't think I could do that. I need to figure out a way to bounce it a different way. How would we get the other thing over there? That's the other question, is even if we were able to get one thing over on this switch, how do we get the next thing on the switch? Can't really push it. And if you hit it, it breaks. So that's one. Now, how do we get the other one? I mean, what in the world would we even do? Nothing's gonna hit us backwards in that general direction, or diagonal in a weird general direction, I don't think, because you couldn't really build up enough of a hit. Let's say we were gonna do something like this with that. No, it would have to be something like this and then that and then that, and then be right in the exact spot to shoot yourself diagonally. Something like, yeah, it seems highly unlikely that that's the solution, but that might be the solution. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pause this recording since I do have a pause feature. I'm gonna look up the answer, and if I think I can do it, we'll come back and do it. If not, I'll come back and we'll just wrap up the series as it is. Then we're gonna end obviously at less than 100%, unfortunately, and there really isn't gonna be much to say at the end anyways. So 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So apparently this is just a matter of the Force Wand and the Xbox One controller just not being particularly well suited for each other. That's the solution. It's really that simple. So yeah, apparently there is a way or two to knock things off the edge of the wall. I want to walk through this room just to be certain that it opens. So like this solution, for instance, you can also just get the angle right, and you are capable of making this bounce off a wall. And that is just something that has been in the game from the beginning since you had the Force Wand, and it's just a matter of the game never really making you do it, or telling you can do it, or making it fairly easy or obvious where you would have to hit it to get the angle just right. You can see, while it is doable, it's not easy by any means. Moving on, I have to hit all the numbers, which shouldn't be too hard. The main issue that we'll run into, I think, is just clearing a path. One, and then having to have a 2, and once I'm at the 2 I'm stuck, and then a 3. This isn't as simple as it looked at first look. Okay, we have to do that trick again, but we have to do that in the right order. So that needs to be there. Oops. They've kind of done us a favor. I don't know if they've done us a great favor, but a little bit of a favor. If I can hit it really fast, I can do it this way. I don't think I can. Right, well, the next part of this would be to do it this way. Which I'm gonna be in the way of. So I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off. Because, yeah, clearly yeah, I don't think you can roll through a force ball. Nope. Seems you bounce it regardless. So how you kind of have to be this far back and then man, we could try this. That just manages to kill you. I'm not gonna get that block to slide anywhere else. Actually I don't think that one matters, because if I did this, no, it does matter. There's a lot here that matters. We may just go through an accelerated experience here where I have to just pause to look up the next answer. I'm hoping that this is the last room and that there's just a big old boss fight room in the top right corner. Yeah, because I don't like dynamite doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, it confuses me to say the least as far as what else I could even do. Like, this obviously needs to be here, but it's also in the way as far as 4, but I can work with that because I could just do that. But I can't do anything for 1 like that, and I can't do anything for 3 like that. Well, for argument's sake, could we get a power shot to the 1 and bounce over this? I don't think we can. Yeah. That isn't gonna happen. Although maybe we could do this. No, because that's just gonna bounce you in a weird angle. It's not gonna let you reach where you want to go. Weird that the music just got loud when I fell down. Interesting. It gets louder. Let's check one thing. Make sure that there isn't some secret paths that you can walk on. And you can't freeze these and make them slide. So that's not some new technology. Alright, well, again, I'm going to just pause the video. I'm going to watch a video and figure out what the solution is, and we'll see if we can do it. Same as before. Okay, I'm back again. Yeah, it's really hard to feel like a video game critic when you just don't have anything to say and you're just watching someone else's YouTube video telling you how to do things. So the trick I forgot about was a little bit old because we haven't done it much. We have to simply bounce the ball here like that, and if you miss, you just have to reset. And of course the person I saw did it on the first try. Alright, so you do that, and then that, and then that, and then you put a cube here and you slide it down for the 3, and then you do like I said and do that, and then we do this and get out of the way for the 5, and then we can break that to do 6, and then 7, and then 8. So yeah, we are an hour over and my brain is fried, but yeah, we are. Note to self, I've crafted the ultimate weapon. It solves any puzzle and opens any door. Don't forget it to keep the trigger pressed to charge it. Okay. Meanwhile, is there a way I can get where I want to be? Yeah, odds are very low that a double shot would let me jump over this. I'm gonna... What? Do I just really have to activate one? Interesting. Not the other. No, you can't open the door until you get to the next room. Trigger. What trigger? Let's just remind ourselves that we can run out of this room and fill our health at any point if we so need to. Okay. How would this work? Because that shoots that in the opposite direction. So I would have to basically and I can push a cube. And the cube can bounce me back. I can push a cube. Could I push a cube and then have it be a diagonal cube, and would that help me in any way? Alright, you know what, I'm not even gonna try. Let's pause for a third time and we'll just see. This is getting very repetitive at this point. So what we need to do is we need to have a block here, but we need to first have a block here. So what we're going to do is bounce that, put one here after it bounces, and then do the crossover shot. And have to do it incredibly fast. And I don't know if I've really got the speed for it, frankly. This is where the game would have, again, benefited heavily from simply allowing you to slow down time. Like, I don't really use any software ever to cheat or anything, but this probably is a perfect example of something that deserves some cheating functionality. You know what? We probably don't have enough time to put it all the way down. It's probably better to just do this, then do this and that. But that doesn't probably give you enough time either, and would just end up having you on the spikes. And I don't think you have as much time to... Oh man. I think we're done. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this to work. Is there possibly some way I could get it to reflect backwards at the diagonal? I don't think so. Like, I've seen the solution and I just don't believe it. It just seems ridiculous. But I don't know any other way. This is the solution I've seen. And it's just... This is the problem. You're constantly running into things that are not puzzle-based puzzles, really. The only other thing I could think to do would be to do something like that and try to hit both at the same time, which I don't think you actually can do. So this hits, and that hits. Yeah. Is there possibly an easier solution if we did it from this side? No, I think that just is going to waste your time. You need to start moving before it hits the cube. So there's a timing to this. So it needs to be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, bounce. No, it needs to be like 1, 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, bounce. And I didn't see anybody rolling. 1, 2, 1, 2, bounce. Which is good because the rolling mechanic also sucks. 1, 2, 1, 2, bounce. This isn't gonna work. Yeah, I'm doing it wrong, aren't I? Well, this is gonna make it actually a little bit easier. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, bounce. It doesn't... I don't need the ball to hit the ice that's down here. I need the ball to hit the ball that bounces here. And the ice to be there. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And if I can get that to happen, it'll work. 1, 1. It's like 1.5. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, almost had it. Just needed to fire directly down instead of slightly to an angle. 1, 1, 1. Yeah. I'm surprised that worked. Is this what I think it is? It's a shorty. It is shorty, the mythical weapon that destroys puzzles, doors, and faces by exploding the exploding flaming chainsaw shotgun. It's so beautiful. Yeah. Now look, you charge it by holding the fire mace button. Sniff, I'll never let you go. I'll just leave you two alone for a while. So, if you do this, it just shoots all puzzles. And the puzzle in the middle room that we couldn't do before, yeah, that was it. That being said, if it's supposed to be kind of like a shortcut to the boss, or through shortcut for the boss, boss fights, you really only get it after you've beaten the whole game. So again, there was no way that you could have done three things. So instead it just shoots everything. And that was our final box of crowns. So you couldn't have gotten all the health either in the game. So oddly, it feels like you were supposed to have solved this puzzle quite a while ago. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go into the lower right corner and get that coin. There's no reason for that. And we now will take this. Let's see what a room like this destroys. A lot of things, but not everything. It still didn't kill everybody. I don't even know if it did any significant amount of damage to anybody. So it broke one of these. Again, no way you would have been able to do this. So this is the way to the final boss. We'll see if... Yep. Doesn't really feel like they are still dying. Feels like this should be a victorious just run in which you use your new weapon to kill people like crazy, but it's not really doing that. Which is a little weird. But we did get to destroy the silver slimes for once, which we've never been able to do that before. Well, let's see if it takes out the cannons too. Doesn't take out the cannons, does take out the metal spinning balls. Which that will make it easier. Yeah, there's actually no way you would have been able to get past that middle spinning ball. Well, not easily at least. Alright, so what we want to do is just roll and not fall to our death. There's a lot more here than what I thought there would be. Can we get a slightly diagonal shot to remove those two? And with those two removed, we can make it to the next room. And that just opens back up to this room, which I don't know why I would want to go through there ever. So it's taking all my secret shards. I am complete. Who are you? I could ask you the same, buddy. Never heard of you before. Didn't you read the books we found in the way here? You know those pages with the words? They kind of went in one eye and out the other. Oh, you are bonus content. I am Adventurer Simulacrum. I have completed this island's adventures 1,000 times. I've recorded every enemy in my monster encyclopedia. After destroying you, I will have 2 more entries. Then I can return to the overworld and record everyone else on the island. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can't. You can whack the enemies, but not the innocent villagers. Why not? We are adventurers. We strive for completion. That is an understatement considering how much extra time I put into this game. Lady, if you're going for the old "you are actually evil like me" shtick, you're talking to the wrong person. That's right, you literally can't whack the villagers because they're invincible. Trust me, I've tried. Maybe you should have kept that to yourself. You're mistaken. In this story, I am no ordinary protagonist. When I am done with this island, the world is next. It will be filled with my brilliant dungeons and puzzles. I will be the last one standing, the only one fit to complete my quest. My might and genius will make every living thing obsolete. What? This is my adventure. I'll show you whose bonus content you pile sticks. And yeah. Seems like it seems like the shotgun is strong, but it's so slow that you can't really use it. And it seems like you might have to just stand in one place to use it. Seems like I can get a couple of hits in, but this is gonna take a while. Seems to put a lot of stats effects on me. Yeah, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna have to be way better at dodging. Yeah, and this might be the end of the game too. Like, we may just have now twisted into a boss fight that is just strong enough and hasn't been made easier like the other ones not that even with the easy boss fight mode on were those fights particularly easy. Yeah, he's hitting me multiple times, or she's hitting me multiple times. And I'm at like half health. Well, no, I'm about to die. It's at like half health. So unless maybe we should slow it down. Yeah, I really am having a hard time having enough time to put it down, put down the dynamite, and dodge all of these attacks, which clearly is a high priority in a battle like this, because if you don't do it, you're dead way quicker than you should be. Yeah, I don't know where we'd be able to hit this one and slow it down. Like, the ice attack is not really doing anything. So, I should probably do things like that. See, I'm at half health right now. And still really not getting a nice move set up. He's not really doing a lot of damage at once, which is nice, but these phases seem to come and go after you've done one hit to him. So you probably want to try your best to not have the game cycle through the different phase attacks as often as it could by doing small amounts of damage. This is just not working. Yeah, we're done. I can't beat this boss. I mean, let's just double check on the gameplay. Like, let's see, hint. This robot can project her own versions of every item on the island. None of the projectiles she uses in her final phase can be reflected. So yeah, learn the role. Right. So unless I'm supposed to use ice on her when she's using fire, or I'm supposed to bounce back her own attacks at her in different colors, I'll give it one more chance, but that's gonna be it. Like, because I think this is probably just yep. Yeah, and that totally missed. I assume you're supposed to match in kind, because I don't know what the opposite of a dynamite would be, even. Let's see. Yeah. My only thought is maybe by reflecting back their own attack, I could do a decent amount of damage to her. But no, it doesn't really feel like we're still anywhere close. And while I was able to get one thing with the shotgun is not doing enough damage either. So we've tried every weapon, the ice ring in particular being particularly useless. Yeah. I'm just not feeling this. If there was a real solution to this, is just frankly get good, sucker. And I really have to blame a lot of this on the controls. This puzzle game has no chance. Any puzzle game really has no chance of turning into a fighting game that is really well designed. That's just not ever likely to happen. And see, we've just managed to get it slightly below half, maybe to a third health. But yeah, this would just be probably another 30 minutes to an hour of gameplay, really. Unless the game was just going to be really generous and not let me take any hit whatsoever. So yeah, as far as items, there are no more items to collect. As far as going back to the main map and the main overworld, there's no reason to do that other than maybe we would get the good ending, but I don't think we would get the good ending because I don't think we've collected everything. So yeah, we've gone super long. Let's see, there's no indicator here even of like a percentage of how much you've done. And let's see, concept art that I don't care about, an outfit I don't care about, records, it's just the best time. Cards we've collected, we got everything except for one. And yeah, that's it for Ittle Dew 2. A very, very mediocre game. Not probably worth playing. It's a shame because I felt like Ittle Dew 1 had a chance of establishing its own spin on a Legend of Zelda NES clone style game while using modern graphics and doing different characters and different types of stories. But there really is no story in this game, and there's really no characterization in any of the characters other than they look like weird Adventure Time characters, and that's about all you could say for it. The gameplay in this is mostly puzzles, but the puzzles aren't great. When you do run into combat, it is just mashing buttons. The controller support is existent on PC using an Xbox controller, but it's not good, and there definitely aren't any options I saw as far as the controls that would change the sensitivity, or in fact this game is a weird game that even needs you to be able to slow down the game, because some of the boss battles are just particularly difficult, and even playing on easier boss battle mode, which is what I had enabled, the boss battles are still too difficult for a puzzle game by far. There's just kind of nothing here that's better than what we saw in previous top adventure games, as it were, Legend of Zelda style games. And in all fairness, the last time we had anything like a Legend of Zelda game was a remake of, like, not a Link to the Past for the Switch, and I would 100% recommend playing a Link to the Past instead of this. It would be a weird comparison to ask if you would want to play the I want to say Zack and Wiki, but that's not the name of the game. There's another game I played recently that was also very hard and had an almost impossible boss battle at the end, where you're playing as a bat and a lizard, and it was a kind of a Banjo-Kazooie style 3D platforming game, but the sequel to that game decided to be more of a top-down style game, and I don't know if that might not be a better game, even though that probably is a little bit even more difficult there. It's something in the Impossible Lair, if you want to look it up. 2 names, but I can't remember the name of it even. That's what this game has done to me. It's just melted my brain and worn me out, and I'm just nothing here to like. It's real sad. I will be skipping Ittle Dew 3 unless I just completely forget about how much I dislike this Ittle Dew 2, and I very well might. But yeah, I'd hope for a lot more improvements, new ideas, new concepts, a new world with new characters, and maybe the nostalgia desire for a Legend of Zelda style game won't ever actually get fulfilled by anybody else, because most of the people that would make a game like that are instead making Link to the Past mods and randomizers. Even the Zelda series has gone 3D for the most part, and it's going to stay that way. And that means that the dungeon layout will always be 3D, and it won't feel the same as that old game, Legend of Zelda. But then again, it's also several decades since The Legend of Zelda came out, so I don't know how many people are really nostalgic for that. And if you were to put a 10-year-old in front of Legend of Zelda today in 2020, would they care one bit, or would they just say it's an ugly game and a boring game with repetitive grinding? Maybe everything has just evolved to something more like The Binding of Isaac, where it's randomized rooms and there's a map layout and you're crawling through dungeons, getting further and further. The only thing I would say there is it would be nice if there was a Binding of Isaac-like game that also had overworlds and some areas where you kind of weren't just always dungeon crawling. But in all fairness, even the overworld in The Legend of Zelda was kind of just one big dungeon overworld. It didn't really change the gameplay that much. So that might be the direction to go. And there are definitely items in Binding of Isaac that you unlock. You just unlock them in a different way. It'd be interesting if there was a game like that where it was a very linear story instead of a more random drop game, which is what the Binding of Isaac is. But yeah, you could probably tell I don't really have anything to say about Ittle Dew 2, and then I'm talking about 2 other games already. So yeah, let's end this. That's it for this series. Good riddance, I guess. That's the only way to say it. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to further follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Also, if you go to my YouTube page, there's a playlist tab, or hopefully there still is, and I have a playlist for every game I've ever covered, so I've covered a lot of them to the point where I can't even remember the names of most of them. So check that out also. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.